Hello and welcome to the Mangina Dialogues. That's the most pumped up I've ever been for a podcast ever. Holy shit. I'm your host, Nick Scopoletti.
And I'm the Gregolicious. Sitting in with us, we have a good buddy of ours, Og Stone. Say hi, Og. And today we have a very special guest, one of the best, if not first, thrash guys ever, Harley Flanagan from the Cro-Mags.
What's up, dude?
Oh.
Did you lose him, Greg?
I did.
We had.
Good start. Just he hated us.
Hold on, Harley, I lost the connection. So you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, Harley was like, you know what? These guys sound stupid. I don't want to hang out with them.
No.
There he is.
Yeah, he's back.
All right, here we go.
Back.
Here we go. We're back.
There we
We're
are.
back in action. We're back in action.
We're back,
Yeah.
dude.
That was fucking
Right on there. Oh, okay. Well, that's sometimes that's how shit has to start. You know, you get through the fucking bumps and then it's all gravy. You know.
Yeah, that's our first technical difficulty of 15 episodes.
Well, you know what? It's the power of that song, man. That shit just like fucking, you know. The volume of Motorhead just like fucking blew through your system and wrecked some shit, you know, caused some madness.
Definitely not the first time you and Phil blew some stuff up.
No, definitely. We've definitely destroyed some fucking some speakers and brain cells and eardrums together in the past.
Including mine.
I'll tell you, man, just listening to that shit, I'm so pumped, man. I'm so fucking thrilled and just like proud to have this motherfucker on there. It's like, you know, it's beyond validating. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't even know what the fuck to say, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so you had a long history though with Motorhead. I mean, you toured with them back in the 80s, 90s?
Yeah, I toured with them in what was it, like 86 or 87. I did a pretty big tour with them. We did like 50 something shows or something. We did in the States and some shit in Europe. But I have a really long history with them. Just like, you know, I was at, you know, shit. I've seen literally every line of a band that's ever existed. And obviously, you know, Phil was the longest outstanding guitarist to ever be in the band. And, you know, I've been seeing them since I saw their first fucking American show, let me put it that way. And I saw every sound check of every gig that we toured with them because, you know, I was a fan, and you know, something like that, you never know if you're going to get a chance to see it again. So you really just want to soak it all in. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he fucking said he would do it and he did it. And it's just, I'm so fucking proud, man.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. And congratulations on dropping that song today.
Oh, man. Dude, he played slide guitar on it. How fucking cool is that? Like, who the fuck, you know what? Who has slide guitar on a fucking hardcore metal record? Oh, yeah. Me. Oh, yeah. Wait a second. No. And who the fuck did I get to play it? Oh, yeah. Phil Campbell from Motorhead. Yeah, okay. What now? What do you have to say? Oh, okay. I didn't think anybody had much to say other than, oh, shit.
Well, there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, shit, when they hear that song.
You ain't motherfucking kidding. It's like, wait a second. They did what now? He did what? Who? What? Oh, shit.
So, I mean, besides this awesome song, you've had a pretty crazy year, I would say.
Yeah, man. It's fucking out of control, bro. I mean, shit gets any better, I'm going to start getting suspicious, man. You know?
Someone's setting you up for something. You're like, what the fuck's happening?
Like, what in the fuck, dude? I mean, you know, but to be fair, you know, it does all come on the heels of a lot of real major, like, disasters and like bad shit, you know, and like deaths in the family and just like all kinds of really heavy bad shit. And then, you know, just like this wave of incredible fortune and productivity and just one positive thing after another. It's like, I mean, that's why I said that one line in that song, the pendulum always swings both ways, you know, because that motherfucker, like, you know, it went from one place to another. So it's like, you know, bro, it's been crazy, man. First, you know, those Misfits shows, and then, you know, the single dropping the same time, then jumping right back out on tour, and then this single dropping, and then, you know, forget it. The movie I just fucking did. I mean, you know, we're working on this fucking documentary based on my book and all. There's more shit going on than I can honestly really keep up with. So I'm just I got other people keeping track of my schedule, and I'm just doing day by day what I'm supposed to do. Like, I fucking didn't even remember I had this podcast until I was like 15 minutes ago. Oh shit, you're supposed to be on a podcast. Okay, let me get the fuck out of here. Let me jump on the phone, my thing. Like, you know, I really, I'm spinning, but from a lot of good shit, you know.
Well, we certainly appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Oh no, dude, it's a pleasure, man. I heard you guys are fucking, you know, a lot of fun. So I was like, yeah, let me see what the fuck kind of ball breaking madness we can get going here.
We'll do our best.
So far, you're going easy on me. I'm like, wait a sec. I thought this was a comedy show. So far, nobody fucking said shit.
If you would see what I was looking at right now,
I can't exactly like bite you or stab you through the phone. So I think, you know, you guys have like pretty much open reign to like break some balls, but you know, our paths may cross one day, so you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
you know,
we're all city boys.
Yeah, you might put me in an arm bar, dude. I'm scared. I've only taken 2 jiu-jitsu classes in my life.
Yeah, well, the two is definitely too few. You know, so,
let that be a warning.
Yeah, I'm scared now. I'm gonna go home.
All right, look, man, you don't need to tap out of a conversation, bro. You know, now you can just, you know,
He's
handle it gracefully, you know. Jesus Christ.
So if you had to pick, I know this is impossible because there's no chance I could do it, but if you had to pick the highlight of this year for you, all things considered.
Oh, great. You know what? Honestly, and I'm not saying this because she's next to me in the car, but like coming back from tour and seeing my wife really was such a relief because I've just been fucking killing myself out there, you know? I mean, you don't understand. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any pictures of the shows, but like my base is completely covered in blood. Like I have no fingertips. I mean, you know, I mean, I put out 110%. I mean, motherfuckers half my age in the crowd can't keep up with me and are like shocked at what the fuck I'm putting out. And it's just because, you know, I fucking love doing it, man. There's really no other way around it. Like I ain't one of these motherfuckers who mails it in for a paycheck because, you know, I make money. I don't need to do this shit for a living. I do this shit because it's my passion, man. I love to play music the same way, you know, the same way that I spent, you know, 20 years invested into jiu-jitsu. You know, you do things that you're passionate about it because of you're passionate about it, not because of any other fucking reason.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so for me, you know, again, you know, I'm, you know, not to like start, you know, anything, but, you know, I'm not playing one record and I'm not fucking living off of, you know, 30-year-old laurels. I'm fucking, I'm a productive motherfucker. And this year is fucking proof. You know, you give me a half a motherfucking opportunity and I will run with that shit, you know? So, you know, I definitely don't need no fucking handouts. I just need a fucking chance and I will fucking knock shit the fuck out, you know? And now I didn't just get one record deal. I got 2 record deals. I mean, you know, I don't want to get into numbers, but, you know, let's just say I got a record deal that's like up there with like, you know, back in the 90s when people were actually getting record deals. This ain't some chump change I got, you know, so, you know, so I'm actually, yeah, fuck, dude. You know, I really can't say enough positive shit about what's happening right now. You know.
Let's talk about the single we just heard. Like, tell us about writing it.
Well, that song actually, I wrote in the recording studio. Ironically, you know, I had pretty much recorded everything that I had planned on recording for the record, which was like 11 or 12 songs. And then because I still had another day or two set up with my drummer, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I just went through my phone and started pulling out riffs that I had laying around. Of like, you know, some of them are literally me humming into my phone while I'm walking my dogs in the park. Some of them are me playing acoustic guitar. Some of them are actually bass. And I just go through them and I picked out a few riffs that I thought were strong. That were all in a similar time signature, and then I just set up the click track, and me and my drummer just fucking started ripping, and we wound up recording like 3 or 4 songs that night, just me and the drummer, that I pretty much created on the spot out of just things that I had in my head and ideas that I had in my phone. So that's how that song came together, and even when I had recorded it into my phone, I was hearing a slide guitar riff in it, like the wow, 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 wow. Like I just had this. I have a weird take on music because I have really eclectic interests musically, you know. So like for me, it's not anything. I just want to hear some slide guitar and some shit because I listen to a fucking ton of Allman Brothers and shit like that, and a lot of old blues and stuff. And then, of course, there's a very Motorhead-ish attack to that song just because, you know, fucking Motorhead is like my fucking bread and butter. You know, that's like my shit right there, you know, them and, you know, of course, Old Sabbath and Bad Brains. And
Are you a GBH
I'm sorry?
GBH?
Oh, yeah. I mean, shit.
Like those early GBH singles.
Dude, I honestly, when Leather Bristle Studs and Acne, I was just talking about that album the other day. When that record came out, I was lucky enough to tour with those guys back in the day on their first real U.S. tour. I have some really crazy memories with them. I mean, I scared them a little bit, I think. But, I guess I can tell you the story. Was this in the book, the one with the photographer? That I beat him over yeah. All right, well, long story short, GBH was a little nervous in States when they first got to New York, right? So they kind of camped out in their hotel for the first couple of days before they ventured out. And me and this punk rock girl were like two of the first people that they kind of encountered on St. Mark's Place. And there was this photographer rolled up and started taking pictures of us, because back then, that would happen to punks and skinheads and shit. Photographers, we were kind of a spectacle, and they just would start snapping your pictures and shit. So anyway, this chick started protesting, telling the guy, quit taking my fucking pictures, blah, blah, blah. This ain't a zoo, whatever, blah, fuck you. We're not on display, blah, blah, blah. Trying to hit him up for spare change. If you're going to take my picture, you got to give me whatever, some dumb shit, right? So he wouldn't stop. So I wound up bouncing his head off a fire hydrant a few times and taking his camera, which was like a big, like old school Canon style camera on a camera strap. And I didn't take his camera. I took it from him and actually like broke it over him. I started so whatever. So yeah, that was the camera story. That was when I first met them. And then later on that evening, they actually witnessed this Hell's Angels stab somebody. So they really got they got a full fucking their first
Welcome to New York.
Yeah. So they thought they were nervous before they left the hotel room. I guess they were pretty they understood why by the end of the night. But they were fucking great guys, and I'm still in touch with them. I fucking love those dudes to death, and they've got fucking one of the best fucking drummers in the fucking business over there. And I just love those dudes.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. One of the questions I had was, I'm kind of new to the, not new to the hardcore scene, but Cro-Mags is actually new to me. I'm younger than these two old farts here. So,
that must make you like my son's age.
I'm like 31. I'm not that young, but I'm young enough to where to where I,
Jesus Christ, man, when my fucking music is too old for a 31-year-old, I didn't think I'd live long enough to have that experience.
I didn't think I'd live long enough.
Well, this is the thing, dude. I wasn't like, I knew of you guys, right? My best friend who I want to shout out on here, his name's Wes. He hardcore changed his life straight up. And I told him I was talking to you today.
Yeah, it kind of ruined mine too.
But he's like you, man. Positive influence. Guy's a cop in the local area, works with school kids and things like that.
He's like me, a cop.
I'm saying he works with kids. He works with kids, not the cop part.
Okay, well, yeah, I work with kids. I'm not exactly arresting people and fucking, clubbing fucking, speed violators and whatnot. But no, that's a joke, officer. I'm just fucking around. I'm sure you know I got a lot of friends that are cops these days, it's funny because, it's like when after the Webster Hall shit, when I was getting processed and I'm getting strip searched, fucking going through the metal detectors, I'm standing there naked holding my balls and I got this cop like, oh yeah, man, big fan, man. Me and my friends used to listen to you guys all the time. I'm standing there, yeah, awesome. Literally standing there naked holding my balls. Yeah, that's great. Nice. Yeah, cool. All right. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, so shout out to Officer Mr. Hardcore.
Yeah, Mr. Hardcore.
Yeah.
But I was going to say...
you know what? God bless, man. People fucking don't understand how much fucking shit those motherfuckers got to eat on their job. What?
Yeah, so. He's also like, besides his job and his profession, he's been my best friend since we were like 14. He's one of the best people I know. So if you helped him in any way, then you did a fucking great thing, because he's one of the best guys I've ever known. But one of the things I wanted to bring up, because I was even a little confused because I was new. So I went to the 420 show. It was in New Haven. It was Cro-Mags, Terror, Obituary, Hatebreed, right? So I'm thinking, like, I saw Cro-Mags, but I didn't see you. And I wanted
I was a little confused when you were talking about the show, because I'm like, huh? What show is that?
See, you were just as confused as I was, because I was like, okay, so it's two separate things. We know there's something that happened. So could you just explain that for people?
What you mean is that there's two separate bands now at this moment?
Yeah, at this moment.
Okay, no, actually there is not. And the story's a little bit complicated, so I will try my best to simplify it for everybody. Okay, now, there was never a time that I did not own the trademark Cro-Mags. I have always been the person who owned the name. I came up with the name before I knew any of these guys. And in fact, I'm the only person who either wrote or co-wrote every single song, and I'm the only human that literally appeared on every single album. So I'm the only person that has any of these claims, and literally came up with the name, own the trademarks, case closed. Okay. Now, when I let John back into the band, and then there was like a fallout again, he went out and started playing as the band, as the Cro-Mags. Now, I spent years sending out cease and desists and all kinds of to promoters, to merchandise companies that were, to him personally, to everybody that was violating the fact that I own the trademark. Now, I don't know how much experience you guys have with the legal system, but to follow through and actually take someone to court and pursue trademark violations and shit like that is a really, really motherfucking expensive process. And now, so besides that, I had 2 very young children that I was raising. So the idea of taking money out of their fucking mouths, spending money that was literally going into diapers and food to try to pursue something that I could not afford to do. So basically, Mr. PMA over here was just like, fuck you, do something about it. I'm just going to keep playing as the Cro-Mags. Go ahead, take me to court, take me to court. So I kept sending cease and desists, which basically just amounted to a bunch of letters going nowhere. Because if you can't follow through, it has no follow through. Right. So there you have it. So this motherfucker went on years of selling a fucking stolen fucking name, playing songs that not one motherfucker in his band wrote, basically doing a tribute to one album for 30 fucking years. I'm sorry, for 20 years. Misleading generations of fucking kids, talking shit about me the entire time to try to justify his cause. Now, finally, I wound up in a position where I had some money. I don't need to get into all of the details, but me and my wife had a couple business things happen that kind of put us in a little bit of a better place. Now, we didn't really want to invest our entire savings into fucking battling for my fucking band, but enough was enough. And finally, and this is no bullshit, after thinking about it for a really fucking long time and debating the pros and the cons, do I want to do this? Do we want to do that? We're going to spend a fucking boatload of money. Literally, fucking Lemmy came to me in a dream and said, take it back, mate. It's yours. You started it. And I woke up and I said, honey, Lemmy just fucking came to me in a dream and said, take this shit back. It's yours. You started it. And she was just like, huh? And I'm like, I got to do it. I have to do this. This is my shit. I can't let these motherfuckers just shoot me in the back and ride out of fucking town on my fucking stolen horse like it's okay and just leave me for dead. And so we fucking, there you go. We filed fucking, we took them to motherfucking, and this shit was probably one of the most costly fucking legal situations in hardcore history besides the fucking Misfits, okay? But I'll tell you this, and I'm not trying to go down this whole road of everything, but like, when motherfuckers set me up and got me fucked up at Webster Hall and tried to have me assassinated in motherfucking Rikers Island, that was really their last attempt to try to just ride out of town on a stolen horse. And the fact that people want to talk all this PMA bullshit and still perpetrate some shit like that, like set a motherfucker up that used to be a close friend of yours, set up somebody that you used to live with, used to steal food with to survive. Motherfucker used to stay with me at my grandparents' house, at my mom's house and shit. And you're going to fucking not only set me up to get jumped, when I come to literally extend my fucking hand, extend my olive branch, I get fucking not only jumped, but then I'm sitting in Rikers Island and I got to read shit in the newspaper like, he's a snitch, he's a skinhead, he's a racist, he's a Nazi, like everything you could possibly try to say to get someone fucked up in jail. And I got some big black dude called Smoke walks up and hands me the fucking New York Post with all this shit written in it. So it's like, wow, man, first you're going to try to gaffle my fucking name, my songs, my band. Then you're going to get me jumped by a bunch of little fake drugs. And then you're going to try to have me fucking fucked up in jail. Like, where the fuck, Again, man, I'm just saying the truth. I'm not talking shit. To me, it's kind of depressing. Is really what it is. It's depressing. It's not even like I'm beyond like the anger. I'm just like, really, dude.
Yeah,
You know, like,
get it.
damn.
You grew up with these guys, correct?
But anyway, long story short, the case settled. They had to fucking stop using anything to do with Cro-Mags. They were permitted to continue using Cro-Mags, providing that it says JM with quotation marks, and it all has to be the same size font, and it all has to be on the same line in the same size. And if they use anything that doesn't say Cro-Mags JM, they will no longer be allowed to use anything to do with the words Cro-Mags. So there's a lot of there's a lot of stipulations around them and perimeters that they are not allowed to go out of. But that's not stuff that I can get into because that the case we weren't permitted to go into the details of the settlement. But that so if you see anything that says Cro-Mags, that's me. If you see anything that says Cro-Mags, quote, JM, unquote, all in the same font, same line, then that's the band that does the first album and whatever other cover songs they do.
So the moral of the story is you win and you must listen to what Lemmy tells you in dreams.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, you listen to Lemmy, even when he comes to you from the grave. And that's why the song is called From the Grave.
Right.
And that's why I got so careful to play on it.
It all comes back. It all comes back. Lemmy rules.
Lemmy fucking rules, dude. So was that an interesting story or what?
Yeah, no, it definitely clears it all up. I mean, it's complicated and convoluted, but fuck it.
It's a little complicated, but at the end of the day, it's really not that complicated. You had some people who were running around, using something that really wasn't theirs. And I finally fucking was in a position to snatch it back and be like, no. You can go play with this, but you cannot have this. This is not yours. Go play with this now. Okay.
Are they allowed to play? They only can play those certain songs. They can't play.
I don't give a fuck what songs they play. They can fucking do fucking Black Sabbath covers for all I give a fuck. They're just basically a cover band. They only know how to play the one record. I don't think they're musically capable of playing the other records. If they learn how to play them, I don't give a fuck because that's all they do is do cover songs any fucking way. There's not one guy in the band who wrote anything. They don't have one musician playing who wrote one of the riffs. Right. So, at least I could say every human that's in my band was on a Cro-Mags record and has participated on a Cro-Mags album in one shape or form. They can't even fucking say that. So, whatever. I don't care. It's really, this shit is old news to me, man. Whatever they're doing is meaningless to me. I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing, man. Like I said, my life is going so good that shit's like, it ain't even in the rear view mirror anymore. This shit is like, it's beyond rear view mirror. It's like past,
Do you ever have any other crazy dreams like that?
All the time, but usually they end up with me like swinging and biting, my pillow or punching the air, or, like my wife sees me attack shit and she's like, oh, fuck. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah,
there's a couple of times got quite almost close, but usually those are like flashback type things. Now, I don't think flashback is the correct term, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the jiu-jitsu thing, right? So a lot of people see that and they think like, oh, UFC, like it's part of the UFC, it's violence, this and that, but I've done a few jiu-jitsu classes and I know guys who have been training in it a long time. It's very cerebral and it has a little bit of a calming effect. I know you spoke about that a little bit.
I absolutely agree with you. But I do also agree with what other people were saying about it before. It is definitely something that there's not an MMA fighter walking this earth who doesn't train in jiu-jitsu, because it's really
correct. Yeah.
The only art that really teaches you how to deal with ground fighting as extensively as it does, so like if you don't know, and if you don't know how to fight on the ground, really in reality, you don't know how to actually defend yourself, just realistically, period. So it's one of the tools that every MMA fighter needs to have. Now, as far as cerebral and calming, absolutely. I know a lot of I know a lot of people, a lot of combat veterans who suffer from PTSD, who train as a way to just deal with life. I know a lot of people who really treat the academy almost like church. Like it's like they go there, they do their thing, and then they can go back to just the frustration of regular 9-to-5 life. Blue collar, white collar. Dudes who just have not just all even just fighters. I mean, dudes who have really tenacious jobs, who are like really grinding, whether they're fucking sitting there at fucking desk all day hammering phone calls and fucking on the computer, and that dudes who are like you need some place to fucking you gotta figure, man, evolution has created this drive in us. We have a fight or mechanism. We have this, it's in our fucking DNA, and without that, without a place to really relieve that, I think we lose touch with our souls.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, for instance, my wife, she's into riding, that's her thing. And, in fact, we're on our way to the fucking barn right now, but, like everybody needs something that really grounds them and connects them to their inner being, their soul, to the earth. Some people, for it's skydiving, surfing, whatever the fuck it is, it's something that just like and jiu-jitsu is just a beautiful art, man. It's so fucking technical. It's like playing chess. It's it really is cerebral. And I came into it for purely just like the combative reasons and just wanting to enhance my knowledge and skills of destroying other humans. But now it's really become just something that I love the culture of it. I love sharing the art. I actually run the kids program, believe it or not. And it's funny because like the parents all follow me on Instagram, so they all know I'm slightly out of my mind, and they all remember when the Webster All thing went down, but they all had my back because they see what kind of person I really am. They see how I deal with their kids and how patient I am with them and how much fun I have with them. And, that says more than all the tattoos and all the, the grimacing on stage and all that shit,
Yeah.
That's all an extension of me too, but
Right. Well, you gotta have both sides, man. I always said, like, you can't just like, I'm a comedian and all that, but like, it's not all fun and games and dick jokes all the time. You gotta have another side.
Everybody knows comedians are tortured souls who are just like struggling with like suicidal thoughts all day long. So I mean, but that's fine.
I'm good on,
he's laughing, but those are really tears. He's laughing with tears in his eyes right now.
So I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym after this and blast your song. So don't worry, I'll be good. I know no thoughts. I'll have a great time.
Do you watch a lot of UFC, like a lot of combat sports?
You know what? I did, and I don't as much because there's just so fucking much of it now that like I don't really watch fights unless somebody that I'm a big fan of is fighting. Because there's really too much to keep up with, and I don't have fucking free fight passes. And then shit goes on mad late. By the time the headline is on, I'm like, man, I want to fucking go to bed, So it's like,
so who do you follow?
I'm a little punch drunk, It's like, you got to figure. I was watching like you and two and shit like that. That's what turned me on to jiu-jitsu. Like I was like, what the fuck is this shit? So I've been into it since like '93. So a few thousand fights later, you're kind of just like,
yeah, like
who? It almost takes like a fucking Diaz brother or a Conor McGregor just to get your attention with all the fucking madness.
Yeah.
But who do you like? Like when you followed it, like.
Oh, dude, I've been a big fan of all the greats throughout the years. I mean, I have a collection of signed gloves that are just like, it's nuts. I mean, and plus I worked at the Henzo Gracie Academy, and I've been with him since like 90. I started training with Henzo in 96, like February of 96 or some shit. So yeah, I've pretty much known and rolled through, everybody's rolled throughout the years. And when you've been involved with that community for that long, you pretty much have crossed paths with a lot of motherfuckers, you know. I mean, I worked for Bellator for a half a second, you know, behind the scenes doing bullshit, and I know, yeah, dude, I mean, all the legends of the sport are legends for a reason. You know, those are the dudes I'm a fan of, you know. I mean, still to this day, Henzo's my dude. You know, I fucking love him to death. I mean, just you want to talk about charismatic and just fun and loving and, you know, and you'd be surprised at how fucking cool dudes who kick people's ass for a living, how cool most of them are. You know, it's really, they're not, you know, they're certainly not like the tough guy assholes you encounter at like hardcore shows or something who like need 10 of their friends to like beat up one person. And then, you know, they're really actually just a total fucking wuss at the end of the day. You know, it's like tattoos on your face don't fucking, you know, mean you got fucking any heart.
Right.
You know, and, you know, these dudes are, you know,
I think it's because they know they can kill someone if they wanted to.
That, and also, you know, when you train that much, you know, it requires a lot of dedication that most, you know, bums don't fucking have.
Very true.
You know, most people, you know, who just like to go out and get in fights with their friends and get drunk and shit are bums.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're clearly, I believe also, not to get too woo-woo here, but it's like, it's an insecurity thing. If you're going around picking fights with people.
No, it absolutely is. I mean, there's no question about that. I mean, you know, it's fucking obvious, you know, and you have to fucking be a psychologist to fucking figure that out, you know?
Right. One of the things about jiu-jitsu that I remember taking the first class and, you know, they're like, all right, you're going to start in your back. I was like, what? I'm starting on my back?
Yeah, motherfucker. You didn't learn how to swim.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. But it's like thinking like, you know, if you could be comfortable on your back and someone's on top of you and you could figure out how to get them off or whatever, then you'll probably be good.
That explains all your
problems.
Exactly.
That right there is why I was saying there's not a fighter on earth who does MMA who doesn't study jiu-jitsu on some level or another, because it's really the only combat art that teaches you how to deal with that type of situation in the extended detail that it does, you know? And, you know, once you learn how to deal with claustrophobia and like bigger, stronger people and immobility and shit like that, you know, because that's like, if you don't know how to deal with all that shit, you might as well just, you know, kill me now. Just, you know, take my life. You know,
that sport is so interesting for me. The first time I ever like heard about it was, I believe it was Hoist Gracie when he used to fight like Ken Shamrock to look like a goddamn bodybuilder, and he was winning and submitting him. And Hoist was maybe 170 at the most.
Yeah, I believe so. There was a big weight disadvantage, you know, back then.
Ken Shamrock's like 260, roided out to the gills, and he is submitting this dude. And I'm like, there's something here.
That's what sold me, bro. That's what sold me. You know, when I seen all that type of shit, because, you know, I mean, I talked about in my book, you know, I've had a few street fights in my life. Let's just say that, and you know, a few hundred probably, and you know, I'd never seen a fucking armbar or a triangle choke or anything resembling a knee bar or ankle lock or a fucking kimura. I was like, what the fuck was that? So like, I just made up my mind that if I ever was fortunate enough to be one of these Gracie dudes, that I was going to jump on board. And, you know, I knew somebody would make it to New York sooner or later. And I was just fortunate that it was Henzo, because he's the fucking man, you know. And he got here in like 95 and started and opened up at 96, and I was probably one of the first cats to, I mean, there was only about a dozen cats there on and off, and I was one of them.
Where is the school in New York City? Where in the city?
It's on 30th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. It's like literally a block from Madison Square Garden. You know?
Is that like, I used to work a little bit with George St. Pierre.
He comes through all the time. I have like so many pictures of him and my kids since they were like babies up till like, you know, till they got taller than me.
Yeah, right, because that's the gym he trains in when he's in New York.
Yeah. He trains with John Danaher, who's one of my coworkers.
Yeah, and he used to stay at that hotel around the corner. I'm sure he's not staying there anymore.
Is it shady? Is it a shady hotel?
It was been it was just not. I would assume he's not staying there anymore.
Yeah, there's not very many shady hotels around there anymore. So you kind of have to look for them. But you really have to seek them out. Like shady hotel.
Yeah,
that's what Nick does on the weekends.
Google them.
That's what I do. I have a Shady Hotels app on my phone.
I'm surprised that isn't like well, I guess there probably is, like shadyhotel.com.
Is it crazy to see how much?
I stayed at some real shady hotels, man.
I'm sure you have. Is it crazy to see how much the city is changing?
Bro, it is truly bizarre.
Because when I heard, I believe, the part of the city that you're from, you go there now. And you're like, what?
Yeah,
this was a bad area? What the fuck is he talking about?
It's really bizarre. I mean, to the point where when I get out of the subway downtown, half the time I get lost because I'm not sure which direction I'm facing because all the structures are different and there's big ass shit everywhere. And I'm not sure which direction I'm walking. It takes me a fucking few minutes to get my bearing and stuff. So, but to be fair, I mean, I was actually writing some lyrics for a song the other day about my neighborhood, and I live in a pretty I like it. It's a nice neighborhood, but, how many years ago was it I found that body? 3? Okay, so 3 or 4 years ago, I found a fucking body in a garbage bag in the park, right? When I was walking my dog. Okay. Now, that doesn't happen. Now, wait
You're not
a second.
a true New Yorker unless you have,
No, okay, so look, granted, that doesn't happen all the time, but then, then there was the incident. How long ago was it I saw those guys carrying his body in the rug? Okay, so there was one day I was walking down, I live uptown, right? I'm not going to say what streets and shit, but all these people fucking came walking out of this, doorway in the side of the building that, leads back to all the other, back alleys and, all the basement of, how they have those type of fucking little doors. Anyway, all these people come walking out and they got a fucking dude rolled up in a carpet.
An Italian gentleman?
Well, no, I mean, I actually live in a mostly Dominican and Spanish area, but anyway, they fucking, and there's 20 people walking with this fucking guy rolled up in a carpet. And they put him in the back of the station wagon, it's no big deal. And the fucking car drives off, and that's just that. And I'm looking at this other dude who's looking at the fucking, because you could see the shape of his feet and everything in the carpet, and we're just looking huh? What the fuck was that? So, all right, so no, wait, okay, so the song's not over. I'm still working on the lyrics. So then. How long ago was it that chick sliced the dude with the box cutter because he stepped on his sandal? Okay, that was a year ago. Yeah, no, this was at the train station by my house. All right, so this fucking dude stepped on this chick's flip flop or whatever, and her and her girlfriend pull out a box cutter and start slicing him up. All right, so and I was in Dunkin' Donuts when the fucking cops come running past trying to find the dude, and me and the Dunkin' Donuts lady are oh shit, what the fuck is going on? So I went down, to the station and found out. Oh shit! Lo and behold, this chick got her toe stepped on, so she slices homeboy. That's a bit extreme,
Yeah.
I think he apologized too before he got cut. But then, and then what was the other one? Oh, and then my neighbor, a friend of his, stabbed his mom in the chest about a month ago, right?
Jesus.
So then,
my neighbor brought me some eggs.
I mean, but she's still alive. But and then a few months ago, what was it? Havenmeyer? I forget. 4 or 5 blocks from my house, 5 dudes got shot. So I'm not really sure what that was about. So yeah, New York has changed a lot, but at the same time, the more things change, the more things stay the same, I guess,
Guys still get dragged out of places and carpets.
If only that dude in the carpet knew jiu-jitsu, it could have been different,
Yeah, well, I think once you're in that carpet, you're already done, some shit already, if they got you in the carpet, chances are you're not fucking breathing anymore,
What's your Dunkin' Donuts order? You said you were in Dunkin' Donuts when the cops are running by. What do you usually get?
I think I was just getting an iced coffee. They got those new veggie things now. Those new veggie
Beyond Burgers. Beyond Burgers.
Impossible sausage or something like that.
Yeah.
The Impossible Sausage. That's what we're gonna name this podcast.
That just sounds wrong, right? I'll have an impossible sausage. Yeah, goddamn right you will. that shit just don't sound right. You know,
The Impossible Sausage.
yeah,
That's
fuck
fucking
you.
great, dude. God
Yeah.
damn it. I want to eat that thing. You said so.
Yeah, you know, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, I guess it's, you know.
I know. I'd rather just eat the meat, but I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been a vegetarian since like '82, so the only fucking time
Since
I
82.
yeah, man, just like when I was in Rikers for half a minute, I was eating chicken because of it. Really, I just couldn't not eat anything, you know. In case I had to fight somebody, I needed at least some protein, you know, something. I couldn't get all weak and shit and have motherfuckers try to roll up on me. So I had to eat some horrible, sloppy, nasty Rikers Island chicken. Like, talk about not eating meat for like a gazillion years, and then that's the fucking meat you got to break fucking fast on.
Yeah.
It's like sloppy, wet Rikers Island chicken falling off the bone. Like, oh Christ. Just the thought is fucking pretty fucking nasty.
So you've been a vegetarian since '82. So like that seems.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about this stuff, but like that's a long time. Like, what led you to eat?
Yeah.
Like that?
Oh, I can't even tell you. It's too weird. But
Okay.
no, you know what?
We're getting pretty weird, man. You could keep going.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah. Well, I don't think the public is ready for this.
Okay.
But yeah, no. But you know, I just kind of got on you know, for no better way to put it, just like on a self-improvement kick. Like, you know, I was a really, I was a hating motherfucker. I hated the world, hated humanity, hated everybody, thought everybody was a piece of shit, and was, you know, wanted to be, you know, a step above and a step beyond and push harder. And one day it hit me that, you know, in order to be all that, you have to start with what you're putting into yourself.
Right.
You can't just walk around thinking you're this and that if you're not. You know, it's not just a mind. It's not just being better than the opposition. Is not just something that you can think you are. You have to not just strive for it. You have to work for it. And if you're going to strive for that and work for it, you got to start by the fuel you're putting into yourself, both physically and mentally, and you know, from what you eat to your workout regimen to how you are trying to educate yourself. You know, you know, the mind is you know, you can you can reshape your way you're thinking and empower yourself and really fucking it just takes work, you know. So that was the kick I got on, and that's what led me to vegetarianism and so on and so forth. So it was really weird because I was like this fucking total Clockwork Orange, violent fucking street skinhead, like street thug, like, you know, just fucking ill, like beyond. And then I was on this crazy like kick of like, you know, Uberman shit, you know, like I am going to be fucking above and beyond all these fucking pieces of shit, you know? Get it?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, so how old are your kids?
They are about to be 17 and will be 15.
So what did they like when they were younger and they would just go out and see you guys on tour? Like what?
Well, they never really did see me on tour because, I mean, they've actually only seen me play a few times.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, when I'm on tour, they're not with me. They're at home, you know, they're going to school and shit like that. And, you know, and I did take off from playing for almost, you know, Christ, like 7 years or some shit because I was raising them and I really was needed in that process. You know, I was a full-time parent. You know, I was, you know, taking them to school in the morning, making their breakfast, so I can picking them up, taking them to jiu-jitsu, teaching jiu-jitsu, and then getting them home and just really being a full-time dad. So playing music it went from being in the front place to taking the back seat to just really not being able to do it, you know. And their mother wanted to go to school and like get herself so she could get herself some good work and this and that and blah blah blah. So I said, hey, you know what? I got to be responsible. I got to, kids got to come first. So, now they're older, and as soon as they, now I'm back to work. I'm fucking doing my shit, and it was great. It was great being a full-time dad. I fucking loved it. I wouldn't change anything, Yeah. And I really didn't miss much. I'm right back to where I left off. My training, I kept training the whole time. And, now my music career is really kind of jumping the fuck off again. I mean, like I said, I got 2 fucking record deals. I'm touring. I'm fucking on top of the world, dude.
So did you played all those Misfits gigs, right?
I played like 5 of them. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play all of them, but I played more than any fucking buddy else. I did 5 of them, and the only reason I'm not doing the Garden is because they had a time limit for the amount of bands that they were allowed to have play, and then they're only allowed to have a certain length of set, and so on and so forth. So, and when you have a venue of that size, something that Glenn told me wasn't even aware of. When you go over, like you see, for every minute that you play over, you owe the venue like $25,000 or some shit, because they got to pay all those union workers for being overtime.
Yep.
So like that becomes your responsibility. So like he was like, yeah, man, when bands like Guns N' Roses decide to like start jamming on stage and like do a 20-minute jam session, they wind up actually paying to play. They're just doing it because they can afford to, and they're just being like, self-indulgent because, so Glenn did really try to get me on the bill. And you know what? I know Glenn really fucking well, and he wouldn't say that just to blow smoke up my ass. If he said he tried, I know he did. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. I fucking played 5 shows with them. The shows were fucking amazing. It was so much fun, just like on stage, backstage, in the crowd, watching the bands. The whole thing was fucking amazing. And I was just really, honored and proud to not just be a part of it, but to be invited by Glenn. It was fucking awesome, dude.
But you played the show in Jersey last year, right?
I did, yeah. No, the funny shit is that was right before I got the settlement in court. So that show I played as Harley Cro-Mags Flanagan hardcore, because I was like, how do I fucking build my band? So I started building my band as hardcore with the same font as Cro-Mags, but I wanted people to know it was me. So we built it as. And the fact that Glenn allowed me to fucking write something that long on a poster was pretty fucking outrageous. But then I got the fucking settlement, and before we even went public with the shit, Glenn threw the fucking shit out into the world. Cro-Mags, Misfits, and then you got stupid fuckers like Brooklyn Vegan, like, well, I guess Glenn Danzig has chimed in by allowing John Joseph's Cro-Mags on the bill. And we're like, no, sorry. Check your facts, But anyway, yeah, man, it was fucking great, man. And fucking Misfits killed it. I mean, enough for nothing, but for years, I've been fucking reaching out to all those motherfucking age of quarrel assholes, just like, dudes, what the fuck can we do to, like, get everybody to the table? There's a lot of people that we could really, like, make happy very effortlessly. And,
right.
To me, I mean, that's the whole reason I went to the fucking Webster Hall fucking thing and caused that fiasco, was because I wanted to just, like, look John in his face and just extend my hand and be like, dude, fucking grow up, dude, both of us. Like, what's up? I just feel like, to have the power, it's almost like a superpower to be able to, like, to be able to make, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of people happy by doing what you normally do. That's like a gift that it's almost like disgraceful to not acknowledge and be grateful for.
Yeah.
If you can sit there and wallow in your own anger and your own envy and all of that bitterness, if you can sit there and wallow in that instead of making thousands of people happy, there's really something like fundamentally fucking wrong with you. Like, what the fuck would a psychologist say about that shit?
That's why I stay out of those offices. So, like, what?
But anyway,
if you're looking back, right, on your entire career, what do you think the biggest difference is between you now and you at 22 years old when you started?
Well, you know what? Oh shit! You know, a lot, and yet not much. You know, I mean, I have a lot more experience, you know. I have more hindsight, more wisdom. I don't think I've changed that much. I'm still a creative person. I'm still a driven person. I'm still kind of an explosive person. I mean, you know, I've had PTSD for a very long time, so I'm still as nuts now as I was then. I guess I'm just a little older, so not as likely to
flip out.
You know, not as likely to smash someone in the face with a 40-ounce bottle as I was there. But you know, no, I mean, you know, I honestly, I'm really in a great place in my life right now. Like the best place I've ever been in. I mean, I married an amazing woman, and you know, after my separation with my kid's mother, you know, I didn't see them for like 2 years. I didn't get phone calls. I didn't have no contact with them. So I went through some really bad shit, and, you know, the Webster Hall shit, and and I really bounced back, you know, and that was one of the things Glenn told me. He was like, you know, I'm really proud of you, man. You know, you fucking, because I was telling him how proud of him I was that he pulled those fucking shows. I'm like, dude, I've seen you play in front of like 100 people, man. And look at this shit. You got like 30 fucking thousand motherfuckers out there, man. I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so fucking proud of you, dude. And he looks at me and he's like, man, I'm so proud of you for fucking rising above and getting through all of that bullshit. And, you know, we all know what the fuck he meant. And I'm telling you, I don't want to sound corny and shit. And I know this is a comedy show, so I'm not going to get too sappy and shit. But, like, I'm a really grateful fucking person. Like, I'm just grateful for every breath. I'm grateful for every conversation, even, you know, even for every fucking argument, every moment. I'm just appreciating life. I'm living in the moment. And, you know,
yeah, it's an amazing attitude to have. I mean, for sure. So what's next year look like for you?
Well, the record's going to be out really quick. Like, it'll be out, like, I don't know, probably like February. I can't tell you when it's going to be out. You'll have to check with Victory and a Rising Empire and shit. But once that comes out, I'm probably going to be having to go out and support the record. The movie I did, I'm not sure when that's going to be out, but there's really so much fucking happening right now at the end of, you know, as we get closer to the end of this year, that the snowball is just, it's getting bigger. The momentum's getting fucking more insane. And I really can't fucking tell you what's going on. I don't even keep track of my schedule. I didn't even know I had this podcast for a few minutes before I called you. So,
well, there's going to be a tour, right? You're going to be playing shows, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you know, for sure, absolutely. I mean, we're all ready
to be there.
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys in person.
Yeah, we're definitely going to come to that.
What? Any shot of Phil playing any shows with you?
I'm sorry?
Any shot of Phil playing any shows with you?
I'm sorry, of who?
Motorhead, Phil Campbell.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't fucking hear this. You know what? I don't know yet, and that is something that I could definitely imagine happening. I don't know, you know, because he's got a record getting ready to drop too. So in a way, we're kind of both going to be supporting our records. So
I think
it is definitely, there's definitely a possibility, you know. So I mean, if that was were to happen, man, I would be fucking pumped.
Not just you, lots of people. Yeah. So we're gonna hold you to that promise.
That would be fucking outrageous, dude.
Well, listen, I know you got things to do today, including teaching some kids.
Yeah, well, actually, right now I'm actually at the barn watching my wife ride this beautiful mare, and I'm just chilling out. I don't actually go back to work until after these next few shows. I'm just enjoying the moment.
Are you gonna ride any of those horses?
Not today. I'm just gonna hang out and itch them and feed them carrots.
Can you shoot me some pictures? I'd like some of those.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on. Is this a cell phone number? I think I can.
Yo, yeah, that is it. Definitely.
Okay, I'll send you some.
That would be amazing. I promise I'm
You got
keeping it
it.
myself.
It's all good.
All right, brother. Listen, we really want to thank you for taking the time today. This
Yeah,
was
for
amazing.
real.
No,
Huge
it's my
honor for us.
pleasure, man. My pleasure, man. It was nice talking to you guys. I appreciate that no one took any cheap shots and it's a comedy show. But like I said, our paths will cross, and I do take names and
my office is literally like
I take names and arms. I take names and arms.
That's good. I have a collection, mostly of doll toys. All right, so listen, we're gonna play your song out again. Make sure everyone gets to hear it twice, and we definitely look forward to meeting you in person and talking to you again soon. And want you to have the absolute best weekend you possibly can.
Yeah, dude.
Well, right now, as I say goodbye to you guys, I'm itching the nose of a beautiful mare, and so I was named Sunny, and she's very cute. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for having me on the show, and I look forward to talking to you guys again.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, absolutely.
Take care.
All right, man.
Bye,
Take care, guys. Bye. He is so cute. Oh my God.